Hi, I'm Viv Van Dyke from Bake Technology, and today we're going to discuss how you can respond to ant job requests with total confidence. Now, I know that many of you may not be all that confident when responding to ant jobs. There's so much written about the need to be able to identify the ant species, and this often puts pesties off, because there seems to be too many species and it's just too hard. The biggest market for ants is probably the residential market, and many of you are operating strongly there, so why not increase your business by doing more ants? The ants you're responding to are mostly going to be Argentines, Whitefoots, Black House, and big-headed ants. They're all tramp species and they'll all get treated the same way, so don't worry. The residential market is huge. There's plenty of room for everyone. Ants can become the backbone of your business, giving you a regular and reliable income that you can plan on and make your business much easier to run. In fact, the American PCT magazine has recently surveyed and reported that ants are the largest growth segment in pest control in America today, and I could see it happening here. So today I'm going to tell you how to make ant work simple and effective. When the ant inquiry comes in, sell the treatment as a 4-stage response. And by this I mean, instead of thinking that you're going out there to treat once and hope for the best, explain that the treatment can come with a 12-month guarantee, but to do that you will be servicing the property every 3 months. This is a maintenance contract, which guarantees to keep the ants out of the building. Many people are already buying repeat services like lawn mowing, window cleaning, house cleaning, etc. So why should pest control be any different? When you get the call, that house won't be the only one with a problem. All the surrounding properties will most likely have problems as well. The expansive nature of mature ant colonies is what creates the problem of reinvasion and is why all jobs need regular inspection and treatment on a 3-monthly basis. So here are the treatment protocols. At the first visit, if possible, it's good to meet the client. Explain that you're going to grid bait all of their gardens and up their trees and bushes, and then treat the foundations around the outside of their house. This helps to build rapport. You want the client to be comfortable with the treatment, as this is going to be a long-term relationship. While you're there, look for any other pest problems. It's professional to point out other problems, like perhaps spiders, and explain that these problems can be treated but will not be controlled by an ant treatment. It's a benefit for the client to have your experienced eye looking for any other pest problems, and it benefits you as it's potentially an upsell which increases your dollar value per job. At the second visit, 3 months later, you're checking for any ant activity, especially on the boundary. If there's small trails there, bait the trails, but also look for any changes on the property that might need a little bit more inspection. New gardens or decks, maybe they've chopped a tree down. Maybe the neighbour next door is doing some kind of massive renovation. These areas may need a top-up. And now it's time, mail drop the neighbours. Put your advertising in the letterboxes either side of the property, as remember, these other properties may have problems. On the third visit, you're 9 months into the contract now, and inspect and bait where required. Consider if the foundations need a top-up. Chances are the client may have mentioned to the neighbours the improvement in their ants, so mail drop the neighbours again. Don't worry how many times you have to do this. Some people require several drops before they'll actually phone you. At the fourth visit, it's 12 months now, so you need to get there and roll that contract over. And then you're at the stage where you're repeating your first treatment. Rebate the whole property again, inspect, look for all your other problems, etc. As you build your portfolio, you'll be able to slide your jobs closely together. You need to stack them in the same suburb. As you get more work, you should be able to stack them into the same streets. Less travelling, as we know, means less expenses. You're less tired. You're making more money. You don't need the client home, so timing's easy. If you get your circuit tight, you should be able to get through 8 or more jobs a day. But I caution you, always leave an aftercare card there to prove that you visited. This is really important if the client's never home. This proven concept should have your callback rate well below the 5% mark. As a tip, I always carried a dog lead just in case you get there and the dog's loose. You don't want Fido rushing off down the road or following you around and hoovering up your ant bait so that there's not enough bait for the ants. As a reminder of the equipment, all you need is some gloves and a simple caulking gun. Remember to keep releasing that pressure release spring, especially when you start a new tube, or invest in a battery-powered caulking gun. The pressure release is automatic and these things are fantastic. But always keep your baits separated from chemicals to prevent tainting. I always keep my baits in a dedicated chili bin so there's no chance of cross-contamination. You do not want permethrin dust or ECs or anything like that getting on your baits because it'll ruin the uptake. Just as a reinforcement, you must treat all the garden habitat, putting a blob every couple of meters. Go up the trees, into the bushes. Place the bait under bark and leaves. The bait should be well placed and mostly out of sight. This method of treatment gives a very high level of control with possibly the lowest environmental impact. The homeowner does not want to come home and have their property look like a flock of bluebirds have been over and left blue deposits everywhere. And remember, use the top rate of 6 kg per hectare if the infestation is bad. Expect re-invasion, so sell the quarterly treatments. Upsell the neighbours. As the bigger the area you treat, the better the results. Now, as a special for the webinar, buy 4 Vanquish Pro and get one free, available only from Garrards. Thanks for taking part.